Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss a new distillery focusing on agave in Fort Worth, Texas. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Stacey Spears, Wes Harden, and Nate Weiniger.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey, so yes, we've got a fun show today. We're going to be talking about this Agave Distillery opening up in Fort Worth, Texas, what we think about that, but we'll get to that after the break. For right now, Wes said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Wes?
So, do you guys have any really weird, strange, awkward local advertisements, whether it's billboards, radio ads, or TV commercials that like are just strange, or they've got a catchy tune that you just can't get out of your head, or anything like that?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's certainly the local ads are pretty bad.
Jingles.
Yeah.
Those good old jingles.
The jingles, yes, yeah. And it's sung by people who apparently have no singing ability. That doesn't matter for a local ad campaign. I guess you just pay one of the owners or a friend to do it. I don't know. They're bad. Yeah. There's certainly plenty of those in St. Louis. Yeah.
Oh yeah, up in North Dakota too, small town. Like I thought of one immediately. I couldn't think of the song that goes with it, but it's called The Carpet Garage. So you can about figure out what that sort of like song could go with. It's like The Carpet Garage. And they had like a big like alligator,
Yeah.
I think, or like a lizard, like in a suit, like it was like very strange, but it was always really good. But I mean, like small towns, North Dakota. Yeah, we're all about some small town jingles. I don't know why. Like you just like, I'm sure I'll think of like 20 more while we sit here.
Right. Yeah.
But
I'm
like,
the same thing. Yeah.
Just
find it all at Carpet World. Find it all at Carpet World. Sung that bad, by the way. I'm no worse than the person who actually does the official.
I kind of appreciate those though. Like those, there's the advertisement that really gets you going in.
Yeah.
When you remember one of those, you're like, where can I buy carpet at? Carpet Garage. The Carpet Garage. Yeah. Fuck, I forgot about the Carpet Garage. There's where I can go.
Yeah. You kind of hate them when they're on, but then you're right. At some point they disappear, whether the people behind the thing, sells the business or dies or whatever. And then you're like, I kind of miss those. It's weird, right? It's a weird thing that goes with those really bad local ads. It just becomes part of living in that town. So, I don't know. Stacey, got any bad ones by you?
We do have a jingle for Go Goldie Auto, and
let's hear it. Can you do it a little? Do a little bit of that. Do you need a beat? You need a backbeat? I can.
You just Google Go Goldie Auto.
Wow.
That's all you need to do.
I was trying to help you there. Okay. All right, Nate. How about you, man? Any bad? You're out in Denver, so there's got to be plenty of that.
I mean, you have the car dealers, right? There's been some that have been around forever, but there is one jingle that makes me violent.
Okay.
And that is and it's his kids singing, so it shouldn't. But it's
Right.
it comes on. It's annoying as hell. I get it. It's for a good cause, but it's 1-800-CARS for kids. Have you guys ever heard this?
Oh God, I hate that.
So I'm not the only one. And I didn't know if it was a national
it's a national fucking thing.
Is it
It's
okay?
terrible.
So I'll be driving, and I'm on a groove. I'm feeling good, some good music, and all of a sudden that thing comes on, and it triggers me. I turn the radio off, and now I have it mentally timed in my head to know how long it is until I can turn the radio back on. But if I miss and it's still on when I come back, but I physically have to turn the radio off. I do not know why it gets me that bad. I'm sure, like I said, it's probably going towards like senior citizens, or maybe the target is just not me, I guess. But man, I can't handle that one. So call me a bad person.
Wes, how about you, man?
Yeah, so there's jingle wise, there's a local attorney, and I don't know, Steve, you spend a lot of time in Louisville area, but it's and ironically, it's two attorneys, Hessig and Pohl. One of the guys is actually a bourbon guy. I ran into him years ago at like a event or something, but they've got this, their phone number is 502-777-1111, and they do this stupid jingle dance with these weird kids and grandkids in it. And it's like everyone locally knows that it's stupid, but the one I was thinking of, it's not really stupid. It's actually genius. And you can Google and see their little homemade, they did a local TV spot. So you can go to YouTube. And so I live in Louisville, but I work right across the river in New Albany, Indiana. And right there, just outside of New Albany, is a drugstore called Butt Drugs.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually a big billboard if you go across the Sherman
on Highway
Bridge.
64.
Yeah, exactly. So not only do they have a great billboard that says Butt Drugs, but they have sweatshirts and hats and hoodies and T-shirts. But more importantly, go to YouTube and trust me, type in Butt Drugs Pharmacy. If you just do Butt Drugs, you'll regret it. Butt Drugs Pharmacy. Butt Drugs Pharmacy, and watch their commercial. It's the greatest local commercial that has ever been made.
Okay.
And a sad thing about it is it's a family-owned company. Their last name are actually Butt, or not, and they're going out of business this year.
Oh no! Butt Drugs going out of business?
Yeah, Butt Drugs. So next time you're in town, go get you a Butt Drug sweatshirt.
I got last chance for Butt Drugs.
They have sweatshirts.
Then they have hoodies and sweatshirts and T-shirts, all 9 yards. Butt Drugs, BUTT, Butt Drugs.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor after the show and go to YouTube and look up Butt Drugs Pharmacy.
They didn't try to just change that. They're like, oh no, we're that's Butte. That's Butte.
No, they didn't.
They just embraced it and said, you know what, it's Butt. It is what it is. It's on you if you think it's weird.
They didn't. No, they just went with it and said, "Hey, we are what we are, right?"
Yeah. There you go. Well, on that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start this time with Miss Beka Sue.
Today, I am going to be drinking
Miss Beka, as
as
Siri calls her.
I chugged my last one. I'm going to do that single malt whiskey from Yellowstone.
Okay. Oh, very good. Very good. That's going to be tough to impossible to beat. That's a great whiskey, too, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Where'd you get that from? Oh, yeah.
Steve Beam.
No, that's false. Steve Akeley gave that to you.
Oh, Steve Akeley.
Oh, yeah.
Showed up.
That's a true friend. True friend brought that.
I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, next up is Nate.
He's on mute watching Butt Drugs video.
Yeah, he's watching the Butt Drug video.
Too much.
I was coughing earlier and I forgot to turn it back on.
You need Butt Drugs.
Yeah, it's Butt Drugs. All right, I'm going to stay in the Yellowstone theme here, and this is a 5280 pick. It is a hand-picked select from Yellowstone at 115 proof. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Let's see what this thing does. Oh, gosh. Got greasy hands, I guess. Well, these corks are kind of thin.
I was just thinking that. Look, this is the thinnest.
Fat hands. Yeah.
Thin cork.
Well.
Okay, he's got to go to plan B. That one's out.
What's going on here? So.
Oh, God, he's using his teeth.
You
We
got
can't be irresponsible for that. Okay.
Well,
It worked.
kept
It
it open,
worked.
but it didn't make a noise because my teeth had it. In
Yeah.
the script.
Yeah. They absorbed the sound of the teeth breaking is what you heard there, folks. So fair enough. All right. Stacey, you're next.
I've got a new riff rye.
Okay. Okay. Not much there. Not much there. It was
Stacey's
audible.
His voice always sounds perfectly clear and beautiful through the computer, but her cork pops.
Are not good. Are not good. She's got to work on that. All right. Wes, what do you got?
I am not participating in the Cork Pop Challenge. I have
Protest?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a protest. I'm just not. I've got a sample. Got a sample of 1979 Old Granddad Bottled Bond.
Okay.
Like,
All right. I've got Copper Dome from Demetrius Kane. If you're from St. Louis, you know who that is. The rest of you, you'll know him soon enough. Here we go. Decent, not enough though. Beka clearly won that one by a mile. So, cheers, gang.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this Agave Distillery opening in Fort Worth, Texas. First of its kind. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
I'm McNew. Don't mix your grain and grapes. Not a good time. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about an agave distillery in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes, we are. Now, a couple of caveats here. I'm not a very big tequila fan in any way. We also understand that tequila and agave are different. It's made from the same plant, but in America, if it's produced here, you have to call it agave spirit. You can't call it tequila. We get all that, and we may cross over and call this tequila during the go. We don't need any sort of notes from anybody. We understand that, but so this distillery is opening up where they're producing agave, which, with tequila kind of having a pretty strong moment here, passing bourbon even recently as a favorite distilled spirit. I think largely because of the margarita, and I think an agave distillery at a place where you can grow agave in Texas, I think is a really actually good idea. Again, it's not necessarily targeting me because I'm not a really big tequila drinker or agave, but I think in Texas, I think it's a great play, and I don't know, it seems like it's going to be, if they make good product, I think the time is right to do something like this. What are your guys' thoughts as you hear about this place coming soon?
Well, I was listening to the Tequila Daily the other day, and I heard about this. And it's going to be in Texas around Fort Worth area, I think is what they said. I actually higher end. It's like everything else, right? Higher end in theory is better. Higher end meaning I'd much rather have aged whiskey than moonshine. That's what I'm take the age and everything out of it. Tequila. Like everything, there's some really high-end sipping tequilas that are really good, or you can just get your bar well tequila, throw it in a margarita, put some sweetness in it, and be done with it, or you can take shots and do the whole 9 yards. So I actually probably from a liquor standpoint, I've gotten to where I used to be kind of rum was my second behind whiskey, bourbon, rye, but now I think I've kind of gotten to the point where I think I've had enough of the better tequilas, and I think tequila's right there for me. So I know there's more uses for agave than tequila. There's agave syrup and sweeteners, and it's a sugar substitute, and on and on and on. It makes sense to me. I'm not a climate expert by any means, but I've spent a lot of time in Mexico for work and for vacationing, and I've spent enough time in Texas over the years to know that a little bit cooler at times in certain parts of Texas, but for the most part, the climate's the same. So it should be successful from an agricultural standpoint. Texas, they love all their alcohol, but they love their whiskey, but they also love their tequila. They're right there on the border. They can compete with Mexico with tequila, and then they're right there. I don't know, it makes sense to me. I don't. It kind of makes me wonder why they've taken so long to do it. Be honest.
Yeah,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I'll say this: a really good sipping tequila is I don't want to say it tastes similar to a really good whiskey, but it has the same kind of complexities to it and the same type of mouthfeel where you can just
the same drinking experience.
Yeah, it's the same type of. Obviously, the flavors are different, but it's the same type of experience where you sit there and
you are sipping it, as you mentioned. It's not shooter. Some people think of tequila, they're thinking, well, it's okay, tequila shooters. No, they're sipping tequilas, and that's what I think. That's the goal of this.
Sipping tequila is like I can do that. Like I'll sit down and just I'll have a good sipping tequila because it is fantastic, and it is such a different profile with still being similar in the experience, which I think is really nice. And I think that's inviting to the whiskey drinkers, because not everyone's just trying to take shots of like shitty tequila.
Well, and there's ones that are aged in ex-bourbon barrels, which kind of gives the bourbon drinker a familiar taste to it. There's some of them that are, come across really well, I think, in that way. Yeah. Nate, what do you think about this?
I think they're going to make a lot of money, is what I think.
I think it's a good idea. I really do.
I think if you want to get into in America in the agave market or import tequila and work out something there, that you're probably there's a market for it, and there's I love this.
I couldn't think of a much better place than Fort Worth. You got the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, which is huge by itself. Fort Worth being on the cheaper side of town, so this all sounds good to me. I mean, it sounds like a good business. If they want me to invest, just call me and I'll pony up some dough. I've got at least $2,000 I could put together.
It does come down to quality too. I mean, obviously, I think
sure.
A lot of really subpar tequila or even agave spirits out on the market that just are not to par.
If they're committed to it, though, it can be special, though. Yeah,
they really could. And they do finding that craft to make a high-end tequila. And for mezcal tequila, just like Beka said, I'll sip that like whiskey. I would probably say that my three spirits of choice. Obviously, whiskey is number one, and then I would probably say tequila every once in a while, mezcal, and then maybe a really quality rum. Those are the three that and I know vodka, I think, leads the league in sales, but that's, who gives a shit about that? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just a base for a lot of cocktails, I think, is where it gets so good. But yeah, Stacey, what do you think about this? A Agave Distillery.
Hey, I like having choices out there,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
maybe
I think if I was in the area, I'd even like to visit. And again, see what they're doing. What's this place like? So
yeah.
So
the agave plant itself is just kind of strange and odd. Like it doesn't look like it would be anything you could process into anything consumable, and it's they oddly look like shorter, fatter aloe plants. Like it's just kind of a weird thing. So I would like to go just to see the processing, to your point, Steve, just to see the processing side and how do they really we know what happens in whiskey production and malt production and we know sugarcane and rum and on and on. But that agave tequila thing is kind of an unknown, at least to me. I've never been to a tequila distillery.
Yeah.
Tequilery, is that what they're called?
It sounds like it should be right. A tequilery.
Tequileria. I've never been to one of those.
Yeah, maybe. So
hey, that would be cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is a interesting thing, and yes, to create a distillery around that. I mean, there's certainly distilleries that do agaves, but to focus on that being your primary thing, and maybe you branch out and do some other stuff, but your primary thing's agave. I think that's a good idea. I think it's timely, and I think they're in the right market for it. So it sounds like a winner again, but it'll all come down to what ultimately is inside that bottle, and hopefully that ends up being a good story as well. That we'll have to see down the road. So, but definitely one to watch. We're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Nate, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
Sure. 5280 Whiskey on Instagram. hidden_barn, and then hiddenbarnwhiskey.com.
All right, Wes.
You can find me on Instagram at bourbon_Wes. You can find me on Twitter at bourbonwes, one word.
All right, Stacey.
You can find me on Instagram at Stacey Share.
All right, Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me down at Neely Family Distillery, and you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. We're in Arnold, Missouri, the world's only single barrel shop. We'd love to have you come in, taste some of our whiskey. Hopefully you find some things you like and maybe buy a couple of bottles. So check us out, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios, amigos.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, Or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's Birthday Barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with the national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.